Hello, everybody. How are you? It's Saturday. We're stuck as usual, lined up near LAX, trying to creep our way toward the airport. So I thought we'd take the opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the changes at LAX and some of the neat things you can do. And in this video, we're going to talk about the Terminal 1, which is the Southwest Terminal, the first of many terminals that will be renovated, and the only one that's complete at this time. So they've completed number 1 and they've started on number 2, which is primarily Delta, but has other airlines over there. So it looks pretty cool. It's very modern, lots of glass, lots of light, very airy feeling. And also, it's not quite as dangerous as it used to be to drop people off, pick people up over there, or it wasn't nearly as congested. And that's due to a lot of reasons, and we'll get into those in other videos. But inside the terminal, what can you do? If you're flying Southwest, what are some of the neat things you can do inside there while you're waiting for your flight or waiting to pick up somebody? Or just hanging out. Maybe you just like to go to Terminal 1 and just walk around and everybody has a different idea of what to do with a Saturday, an open Sunday, an open weekday, a day they've skipped work for a mental health day, even though they used up all of their sick leave and are really pushing the patience of the HR director as well as their boss by attempting to call in sick again. And it wouldn't be so bad if it was once or twice over the sick day limit because, everybody has their own way of working. Some people get a little bit worn down by the normal workload that a usual person can sustain. So they have to call in sick. Now, if their contribution to the company is such that they are very valuable, well, you will find that HR and management will tend to overlook that. But now you have these people, they push the limits of the limits. So in other words, they've used up all their sick days. They've cashed in 2 more fake sick days, and yet it's only November 1st, and they're calling in sick again. And this is where the company needs to really think about things and possibly pull the trigger, let them go, and get in somebody that can stay healthy for more than a couple weeks at a time. But that's a different video. Right now, we're going to talk about the United Terminal. And the very first thing that you're going to see, guys, is the 40,000 seat amphitheater inside the terminal. Now, what do they have going in there? Well, they have bullfights inside that 40,000 seat amphitheater. Okay, it's in the round. It has a hockey rink shape, and they can put floor down for basketball. And of course, they can also then fill it with sand for monster truck shows, and they also have bullfights. And this being a very extremely large, in fact, the majority of LA County is Hispanic, and Spain being the birthplace of bullfighting, you have a big population following bullfighting. The bullfighting leagues. There used to be a bullfighting team here in town, in the LA Toros. We're in the American Bullfighting Association, but they folded. You do have some of their competitors appearing, however, in the United Terminal bullfight nights. So if you're interested in bullfight, that might be something to check out. Just go to the LAX website and look for the schedule. But they also have rock concerts in there. Now, right now, they don't have the biggest names because the word isn't necessarily out that the rock concerts are in there. So you're not going to get your Taylor Swifts, your Ariana Grandes, your Drakes, okay? But you're going to get some of the names from the past that have come back strong, and we're talking about your Billy Idols. You're looking at Gotye, which is Gotye. I don't even know how you pronounce it. But they're the ones that have that song. Singing in rhythm. Okay. And so Gotye's going to be appearing there, or has appeared. I'm not sure. They might be there tonight. I haven't looked at the schedule. So that's one thing. It's one of 5 things we're going to talk about that is inside the United Terminal. Now, the second one is they do have a full bowling alley of 475 lanes. Now, you might ask, well, why so many lanes? Well, there's the thing about LA is you got people that love to bowl, but they only bowl once a month. Or they only bowl once a year would be more common. And what happens when somebody only bowls once a year? Well, they're very good at letting the ball go before they intended to. And what happens? The ball flies into the neighboring lanes. So if you have 475 lanes, there's plenty of room for these amateurs who can't even roll a bowling ball down. I mean, it's right there. Nothing's moving. It's not like golf where, you've got wildlife, deer coming up on you and sniffing your butt. It's right there. Now, you might have relatives that might come up behind you and sniff your butt in the bowling alley, but that might be a family tradition. I don't know. But the point is, it's the easiest game. Not only can you just roll it down the alley, it has gutters to collect your ball. You don't have to go searching in the woods like in golf, looking around like an idiot for a $4.75 golf ball. It just rolls, and they roll it back to you. It's the easiest sport ever, and yet, what do people do? Amateur bowlers that only bowl once a year, they can't even hold on to the dang bowling ball, roll it down the lane, it goes flying into the other lanes. In fact, some people have let it fly into the other people sitting around drinking beer and keeping track of their score, thinking how they can cheat. And a couple people have taken bowling balls to the wrist, to the arm, a lot of wrist and arm injuries of bowling balls flying through the air. So all I'm saying is be careful. Now, the other reason there's 475 lanes is because look at all these people coming out to the airport. They like to bowl. They want to try it. They want to get in their yearly or monthly bowling game. And they got all a family, right? Everybody's coming out here to pick them up or see them off or whatever. Everybody's together. So it accommodates that level of activity. That's number 2. Now, guys, number 3 is really interesting because it plays into the Southwest theme. Okay, now what do you think of when you think of Southwest United States? You might think about cactus. You might think about the Old West, and that's in fact what it is. They have an Old West adventure game. It's it's half of a murder mystery and half of an escape room. So what happens is you sign up for the 8 o'clock show or the 10 o'clock show, and you enter into the room, and your job is to not only identify murderers, okay, but you also are trying to escape at the same time from an escape room. So if you know what I'm talking about, the escape room experience that is so popular right now, where you are given a puzzle, and the only way that you can escape from the room, from the chamber, from the area that you're in, whatever it might be for that particular escape room game, is to solve the puzzle. Now, on the other hand, you have murder mysteries where you go to dinner with people from work and everybody's sitting there and there's these strangers at your table. You don't realize that they're actually part of the murder mystery, and they stage a murder and you have to figure out who did it. Now, this particular attraction has combined those two with a Wild West theme. Southwest Wild, kind of like Tucson, kind of like the movie Tucson, if you ever saw that movie. Now add in a murder mystery and add in an escape room, and you have one of the most exciting nighttime attractions for families, friends, and enemies, in fact, that has appeared in Los Angeles in a very long time, guys. And so it doesn't, if you have boots, if you have cowboy boots, if you have a cowboy hat, if you have a belt buckle so big you could eat your Thanksgiving dinner on it from the last 3 years without any of the cranberry slices falling off the plate, then you already have the gear you need to participate in this night. Now, they do rent out those items, just like the bowling alley. You'll rent your shoes for a few bucks, and you don't know who's had some foot and mouth disease that have worn those shoes. The same thing with this Western attraction. You can rent boots and just stick your foot in there and hope for the best. Maybe spray it down with some. I would say you might want to do a couple things. Hit it with some turpentine. Okay, just wipe it down on the inside, and then also some 90% distilled water alcohol combo, and then spray that in there with a spray bottle, And then maybe I would put some hydrogen peroxide on the edges just to make sure. So that's number 3. There's so many things going on over there, guys. And see, you can see where they put a lot of thought into this terminal, and that's why it's so popular. Now, the one thing that is tied to the airlines or the air industry or the air travel industry, I guess you could say, the one thing that is tied to that is the attraction number 4. And that is they let you fly in a simulator. And so, did you take driver's ed? Do you have a driver's license? Did they have you drive in simulators at your high school? Now, at my high school, you know, they had some folks with money in the high school, but the high school itself didn't have a lot of budget. So instead of full-on simulators, now if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you take driver's ed, you of course go out and drive with the teacher, live driving around the city that you're in. And in the case of LA, they also allow the driver's ed teacher to carry a hockey stick in case they need to reach over with the hockey stick and pump the brakes. Because some of these students are out of their minds and they don't know when to hit the brakes and they don't want to go crashing into things. So the guy carries a hockey stick and he reaches over and he uses the blade of the stick as a handle, and then he or she will use the other end of the stick that you don't normally would have in your hands, and that's what they hit the brakes with. But in this case, my high school didn't have the budget for a full-on driving simulator, or car simulator, or traffic simulator. So what they would do is they would hire neighbors from around the high school to come in, and a lot of them were retired. They enjoyed doing it because they didn't have anything else really going on other than watching Wheel of Fortune and reverse mortgage commercials. They would come in and they would make traffic sounds, right, so that you felt like you were in traffic. And the simulators themselves, which were cut out 1965 Mercury Comets, they were cut out of junker cars that were in the junkyard, and they put them in there in the classroom so that you had the feeling of a car because it had the car seat and steering wheel. It just didn't have the sound effects and nothing worked on it. So the elderly people that they hired would make car sounds, car noises, engine sounds, the sounds of the blinker to give you the full effect. Now that's how it went at my high school. Now in this case, it's an airline flight simulator. So you might have done flight simulators on your computer. It's just like that, but it's a full-on, and this is not like my high school. This is a top-of-the-line simulator. Now, it does cost a few bucks. It's $30. Now, you say, well, why would I do that? Guys, you feel like you're flying a jet airplane from LA to Barcelona, Spain. Because you are. It's unbelievable visuals, and there's a couple of different programs you can select, and one of them is right in mid-flight, you lose all controls and the plane drops 10,000 feet within 37 seconds, and you have to pull it back up and get it under control. Now, if you're back flirting with the flight attendants, you might not be able to get back because this plane's going to be in this deep dive, and you might be caught, right? Your body's going to tumble, and maybe you're going to get caught in between the beverage cart and some people from Canyon Country that are just going over to Barcelona to catch a performance by Rush. Okay, so you don't know. But I'm telling you, if you want to do a simulator of an airplane, this is the one, and it's at United Airlines Terminal 1. That's number 4. I think we're on number 4. I have no idea. Now, the final one, number 5, let's hope it's number 5. And if not, come back. We're going to have so many more videos, guys, about this terminal. It's very exciting. And if we would ever make some progress on this line, I'd actually show you some video of it, but we may not get there. All right, so the final one, the final attraction that people don't even know about. Remember, this terminal's only been renovated for a few months, guys. But it looks good. It looks cool. Now, up on top, they have a very unique thing that you can do, and that is they have lasers, right? They have a laser tag game up on the top. Now, you've seen laser tag games before. Maybe you participated in them. Maybe it was a team building exercise from those nerds that you used to work with at that one company, and they said, hey everybody, let's go play laser tag. It's a lot of fun. You go into a big warehouse, and it used to be a swap meet, or in the Midwest you might know them as a flea market, and they defleed the place, and they bedbugged the place. They turned it into a laser tag game, a laser tag attraction. Well, they have that on top of the terminal. Guys, they have it on top of the terminal. It's unbelievable. And what's unique about it is they allow the planes that are coming in to play as well. So they have passengers on the planes that can play as well. So in other words, they can try to get people out with lasers shooting down from the airplanes that are landing at LAX. I mean, guys, come on. I mean, it's more fun than you could possibly have at any terminal, at any time, in any country in the world. So that's number 5. It's the rooftop laser tag attraction. It's number 5 in our list of super fun things and very unique things that you can do in the newly renovated Southwest Terminal, Terminal 1. And that's why it's Terminal 1 at LAX. Guys, come on back for more videos. If you enjoyed this this summary of everything going on down at Terminal 1, hey, leave a like. I mean, what do you care? I mean, leave a like. I mean, does it cost you anything to leave a like? No. Will it cost you some time to leave a like? Yeah. It'll cost you some time. What, about half a second, quarter of a second? Maybe a full second if your thumb is hurting because you injured it mowing the lawn or something. I don't know. So give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and hey, leave a comment. You know, maybe you found that this was a total waste of your time, and you somehow want that time back. I can't do that. I can't go back in time. I can't do a time machine thing. What if I could? Seriously, if you wanted the time back and I was able to slice it off of the space-time continuum and give it back to you, I would. I don't care. I mean, because I understand people have busy lives, and I'm trying to provide value, and maybe you didn't find value in this video, and that's fine. All right? But if you did, leave a comment. Even if you didn't, if you hated it, leave a comment. We just like comments. And there's a reason I like comments, is because I have nothing else to do. All right? I'm bored. So leave a comment, leave a like, leave a thumbs up, leave a fire, a flame, you know, that says, if this was fire, put down some flames, emoji, and that says, and say, this was fire. And then you might follow it up with, what I mean is, it burned up my will to live. See, I'm handing out great lines to you guys to leave in the comments in case you couldn't think of anything. You can go with that one. All right, we'll see you soon.